All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of a pod yet to be named. I am your co-host, Dylan, and with me is the other co-host, Tom Dunaway. Tom.
As always.
So today we're going to be recapping the 2017 E3 gaming conference. It was just this past weekend. Lots of things happened. Microsoft unveiled the new Xbox One X. Sony, they had a good one. Nintendo. And we're going to be recapping everything in terms of new systems, new games. Tom, which one would you like to start off with?
Well, I think just to stick with consistency, to lead off with the very first press conference, which happened on Saturday, I think, which would be EA. They've had, they've had the right to lead off the show this year, and in classic EA fashion, I think I had high expectations, but ultimately left a little disappointed.
Yeah.
I expected to see a lot about Madden, obviously. I mean, we all are in this fantasy league together, so we have that common ground. So seeing Madden, I think a lot of the people in the league have played or do still play.
Yeah.
And getting a single screenshot of Ezekiel Elliott on the new Xbox was all we got, and then a story mode trailer. So there wasn't really much to be had in terms of Madden.
However, the start of the panel was pretty epic. They had the drum line with everyone in a Tom Brady jersey. I was getting pumped, and all. It was just a story mode trailer, and that was it. They went on to the next game.
Yeah,
I was like,
almost like an afterthought, really.
I was like, I would like to see some gameplay, please. But
and they do after their little press conference, they open up EA Play, which is like their big, their big booth that they set up every year where they show off all the games. So people have actually gotten to play it, and they've gotten to play FIFA, and there are a couple of racing games I think they announced. But
like Forza, I remember.
Yeah, and there's another one called The Crew, which looks pretty interesting.
Okay.
But so people have actually played Madden, and from what I've been able to discover by scouring the internet for leaked videos, I've seen about a minute and a half of actual gameplay. Some of it involving the Panthers, so you'll be happy about that. I believe I sent you that.
Yeah,
on Twitter.
I have yet to watch that, but I will definitely get to that.
Yeah, and there's a few new features that have been added this year that I think are pretty cool. They finally added off-the-ball injuries, so you have a wide receiver on the far side of the field can pull his hammy. Offensive linemen can now get hurt outside of simulation. So in the actual games, which brings it to be more realistic. So I think they're making good strides. I just wish we would have seen more.
Yeah, definitely. I was wondering why we didn't get any gameplay. It was very misleading, especially how the conference started off that way. But from what you're telling me, all the new features and new things you're going to be able to do, it looks like it was all pretty evident for the most part in that story mode trailer. Looked very in depth than from what we're used to seeing in past Maddens. I'm happy that the My Superstar mode is finally back. Gives players, Madden fans, another option when it comes to playing the game, not just Madden Ultimate Team, not just franchise mode. You get to basically create yourself in the world of the NFL as if you were a football player. So I'm very excited to see how the story mode unfolds. It reminded me of the My Player mode from NBA 2K. Had very similar vibes. There's a very much a backstory to it. I like how they very focused in on getting to know who you are as this character and the journey you're going to take to becoming an NFL superstar.
Yeah, and they said that it has drawn a lot of inspiration from Friday Night Lights and also from the FIFA story mode, which has been very largely successful. I think there was even a part of the press conference where they highlighted the character from that story mode. So
Yeah.
it could be good. I look forward to it. It's going to be an interesting way to change things up because, you know, once you get into year 5 of your franchise, things start to get a little stale.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially with there not being importable draft classes anymore. Although it does look like there are playable colleges in story mode, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. That's something also that NBA 2K did, where you got to pick what college you go to, and you get to play a couple of games through that team. So I like that they're actually taking you through the entire journey, like starting in high school, going to college, to the pros.
Hey, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get NCAA back. I doubt it, but
Yeah, that
never
would
know.
be the day.
All right. Well, you know, and just like that, EA was over, and then we headed into the big 3, I guess, if you want to call it that, with Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo.
Yeah.
They're kind of the 3 big dogs. They're the only ones that, you know, really. They basically corner the market. There's not another option out there. But Microsoft started off. They let off the big 3.
Mm-hmm.
Came out with a Porsche.
Yeah,
that was their trump card. They came out with a new Porsche that's never been seen in public until E3 for Forza, and you know it was interesting, but a little gimmicky. I'm glad that they're getting away from like dancing things. And,
yeah, it's very. No one likes. I mean, no one likes not seeing a nice car. So I mean, that's one way to get people interested in this game.
Yeah, and one thing I liked about that is that after that, you know, in past years they would bring out a bunch of devs, or they would have skits or whatever it may be, but they went game after game after game after game.
Yeah,
and just, you know, went after it and showed all the exclusives that they were going to have. One of which I think is really cool, and I don't know if you've played it or seen anything about it, but that's PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Oh yeah, I was just
game?
looking about that last night when I was doing some research before we started recording, and it's making its debut on the Xbox One, correct? This isn't
Yeah, it's going to be a console exclusive. It's been on PC for a while. It's kind of like DayZ meets the Hunger Games.
It has that. It features like more the battle royale combat between solo or teamed up groups.
Yeah, it's basically. I think, you know, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure Minecraft started this trend where there were mods that came out that. You know, last player standing, everybody has to fight to the middle of the map to try to get supplies, things like that. But it's been hugely successful on PC, and it kind of sucks it's not going to PlayStation, because I know a lot of our circle of gamers, our friends, don't have Xbox anymore.
I like that concept, because, you know, because it's essentially only one player or team can win, and the entire map can be used consistently. And I love that they're bringing this. This new concept from the PC to the Xbox One.
Yeah, it looks really good, and from what I've seen, it's going to be really fun to play. So I guess that just means you're going to have to get an Xbox. Another one that was kind of cool, that was a little bit under the radar, was Fortnite. It's a free to play base building, kind of almost like a tower defense game. Multiplayer, fighting against waves. It's like a horde game. Looks pretty interesting. It's still in beta. It's not going to come out for a while.
I haven't seen much on
kind of similar
on this one, actually.
It's interesting. It has an interesting art style. It's very stylized. Everything is purple, which is kind of weird. But everything is on the fly. You set up your base. You start building it from the ground up. You can add traps. So it's to bring together multiple games again. It's kind of like Minecraft and DayZ. It's, you know, you're working together as a team to try to build up a fortress and survive the night. And you know, it's basically all about teamwork. That 4-player co-op that's becoming even more popular. You know, the longer we go along.
Okay.
Was there anything in particular from the Microsoft conference that sparked your interest?
I like that Crackdown 3 finally got a release date. I know.
Terry Crews.
I was super big into Crackdown back on the Xbox 360 days, and now that it finally got a release date, it might spark my interest in possibly getting another Xbox. But in case anyone doesn't know when it's finally coming out, its release date is November 7th of this year. It looks just as...
I'm pretty sure is the release date of the Xbox One.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
The same day.
But it just looks...
Yeah.
As crazy and ridiculous as the other two were. They're incredibly fun. It kind of reminds me of like Saints Row meets Grand Theft Auto in a way, except you're the... And you know, they're like the same game, but Saints Row is just a tad more ridiculous when it came to things to do. But yeah, the game looked incredibly fun, and I'm just happy it got a release date.
Yeah, and I think it's going to have multiplayer too, which is going to be awesome. Hugely destructible environments. You know, it's kind of just over the top fun, which is excellent to just kind of dive into every now and then instead of getting all serious and, you know, not all narrative driven stuff. It's all just about
if you like jetpacks, explosive firepower, and a video game that looks like a comic book, then you're going to love this game. Yeah,
couldn't have said it better. Let's see. There was one other one that was near and dear to my heart, and that was the new Dragon Ball Z fighting game, which looks absolutely fantastic. It's 3v3 fighting, kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom. It's 2D, so it's classic arcade. Like Tekken or any other tag fighter that you've ever played. Looks amazing. Early reviews are good from the people that have gotten.
And that's coming in 2018.
Yeah, it's they didn't give a release window other than just the year. But it looks fantastic. Can't wait to play it. It's a bit different from the Xenoverse games that have come out, but switching things up and going to a more classic feel, never a bad thing.
Is it similar to Xenoverse or is it?
It's more like Tekken or Mortal Kombat. It's a tag fighter, so it's 3v3, and it's just or like Injustice.
Oh, okay, I got you. That'll be really fun. Come out more recently. Especially there's tons of Dragon Ball Z fans out there that will love just a straight up nothing confusing, just straight up 1-on-1 or 3v3 rather fighting combat.
Yeah, just get in there and just hammer away on each other for a while and then just, set it down and continue on with your day. Speaking of that, going along those same lines with 3v3 fighting games, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
I have not played the demo. Have you played the demo yet? I did.
It's interesting. It's a story mode demo. It's basically the trailer that they showed, but you actually get to fight.
See, that's one thing I was wondering. Is it
plays
just,
a handful of characters.
Is it just story mode? Is there going to be, like similar to the Dragon Ball Z game we were just, talking about, where there's just exhibition one-on-one matchups, or is it just campaign?
It's got traditional arcade mode. You can play online against other people in the 3v3 style, or you can do the story mode, which is something that Marvel vs. Capcom 3 didn't really necessarily have, but it kind of did. It was one of those things where, like, hey, you progress through a story, and there's not a lot of cutscenes, but you face a big boss at the end of the ladder. But this actually has like a legit story mode. It looks
I know we both pre-ordered that, and then I can't wait to play it. I think it looks good.
Yeah, and that collector's edition is nasty. It's gonna be really sweet.
Absolutely,
and probably a stupid purchase. But hey,
one thing we forgot to touch on one thing
it is what it
we
is.
forgot to touch on from the EA conference, but it wasn't shown off to a full close until the Microsoft panel, was the new game called Anthem, which.
Oh yes, I'm so glad you brought this up.
It looks like a mix between Destiny and Horizon Zero Dawn, which were both fantastic games. Yeah, like I said, it was teased in the EA panel, but it didn't come out to a full reveal until the Microsoft one. But it's a new project from EA and BioWare. I just think it looks damn good. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. That was since we're on it now, we can already say it. That was my pick for the Microsoft show. That's
mine as well, to be honest. It looked good.
Yeah, it does, and it's BioWare too, so you know it's going to have a A++ story, and it's going to have really good gameplay. And it looks gorgeous. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it looks like Destiny and Horizon Zero Dawn, and you just get to fly around this huge map, do raids.
I'm really excited for it. There's quite the bit of resemblance to Destiny's Guardians in terms of how the characters look and how the guns shoot and stuff like that.
And I love the customization that you can do with the different suits. I can't remember what they called them. It's not like Sentinels or anything. I can't remember what the suits are called, but yeah, like just going to the store and adding a mortar on your shoulder and then just going out into the world, just blowing people up. That was probably the coolest
I think so.
gameplay trailer
and for
that night.
As far as like the enemies go, I think they're called the Scar, or I think it's what the enemies were called, but they're the creatures.
Yeah, I think you're right. Something like that.
They reminded me of like the Halo grunts. That's what it looked like to me. But no Halo. That was,
now that you bring that up.
I don't want to say I expected it, but I was hopeful for it just because of how popular Halo is among the Xbox community. But who knows? Maybe next year.
Yeah, you would think with a new console they would want a flagship release title, and no Halo, which is odd. But maybe they're counting on Anthem, because that's sure what it looked like.
Yeah,
I think they ended the show with Anthem, if I'm not mistaken, with that huge demo, and they brought out that guy from EA who has a
that was their closer of the show. And if anyone's interested in Anthem, definitely look up some gameplay on YouTube. But it's coming in 2018. Hasn't got a exact release date yet, but we got some time before it comes out.
Yeah, and if I feel like a good host and a good editor and all that, I might just include a link to the trailer in the description of this video. Maybe, if I get crazy. Well, definitely the best three of our picks for games of each conference. I'll probably include a link because
Anthem was definitely the best. Excuse me, reveal from the Microsoft conference for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah, and so moving on from that, the next day was Sony, and this is the one that I think a lot of us were excited for, at least the people that play games. Sony's kind of they're the game-centric company, I guess, when it comes to exclusives. They have all the good stuff. And if you'll allow me to kind of paint a picture for you, let me take the driver's wheel here for a second, and let me give you a sample of the first 5 to 10 minutes of the Sony conference.
Let's do this.
Okay, here we go. Ready? All right, Sony conference kicks off. We have a bunch of people playing the sitar and a raining sand thingy, waterfall, and then that's it. Silence. They had audio problems to start the conference, and it couldn't have went any worse for the first few minutes. But then they went into Days Gone, which looks even better this year than it did last year with their gameplay trailer. To continue with the comparisons of two different things, Sons of Anarchy meets Walking Dead. Just looks incredible. Can't wait to see more from it. Looks like it's gonna be utter chaos. Hopefully it's co-op. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, they teased it a little bit last year, and it looks interesting. Just looks like a massive amounts of zombies, and like Grand Theft Auto meets, like you said, The Walking Dead. It looks incredibly fun.
Yeah. it more looks I get at it, the more excited I am to play it. I think this was also like the third conference that they aired that had gameplay of Assassin's Creed, which looks good. I think Ancient Egypt is a cool setting. I've never really dived very deep into the Assassin's Creed library. I have Black Flag sitting on my Xbox that I still haven't played, but you know, it looks interesting. I know Josh is excited about it. I got to talk to him a little bit about Assassin's Creed. He thinks it looks good.
I thought it looked interesting.
Yeah, maybe that could be the launching
for me,
point.
There's been so many
I don't know, we'll see.
Assassin's Creed titles that have been made. I'm just kind of burnt out from those games. Not to take away from it by any means, but I thought it looked very entertaining. But for me, I'm not. That's Assassin's Creed is something that doesn't excite me anymore because I've seen it like 27 times already. I'd like to see something new.
Yeah, I want to say this is like the maybe 6th or 7th main like timeline game, I guess, if you want to call it that way. Well, GTA has 5 games now. Well, like 6 or 7 if you count all the expansions. But I don't know. They're all just different enough, I guess. But hey, give it a shot.
I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They all. No, you're good.
Okay, I was gonna say. I mean, granted, the PlayStation pressers of the past few E3s have set quite a high bar, but this year, in my opinion, I think lacks some of the energy as compared to prior E3 panels for them. Regardless of that, though, I think Sony had plenty of big titles to show during its presentation, like God of War, like we already talked about. God of War, Days Gone, awesome. And the exclusive Spiderman game, which I thought looked amazing. But
like an amazing Spider-Man.
But aside from those games.
Yeah, and they ended the show with that too.
What's that? Yeah.
They ended the show with it too, so you know it's their flagship title.
It looked fantastic. I want to save that for the last because I know we could probably talk about that one for hours. But besides Spider-Man, probably my favorite big game announcement from their conference was Hidden Agenda.
Oh, yes.
Which,
absolutely.
If any of you know Tom and I, we loved Until Dawn. And it's the next project from Until Dawn Studio, Supermassive Games. And it basically highlights the new PlayLink system that turns smartphones into makeshift PS4 controllers. It looked incredibly interesting.
Yeah, just the whole premise of having a group of people together and being able to vote on decisions that affect the game. And then also the cool thing that I thought was having the game randomly pick somebody to be working against the group and having that quote hidden agenda. It seems like a phenomenal idea. Kind of and Jordan's going to kill me because I can't remember the name of this board game.
I know what you're talking about.
It's either Werewolf or Betrayal.
Like
I can't remember which one it was. But anyway, you have it probably is. But there's one person in the game who gets turned against the group, and then they become the enemy, which I think is the coolest concept in the world, especially in a group setting. And I think you could still play it single player. Which is still fun.
But just for the opportunity alone to make group decisions like that with your friends is going to be too hard to pass up. It's going to cause a lot of problems probably if you don't, because people are bound to not all agree on the same choice. But I think that's what will make the game fun.
Yeah, the one that they showed off in the trailer that I saw, the choice between saving your partner or capturing a hostage, or not capturing a hostage, saving a hostage, is that's going to divide some rooms, break some friendships. But hey, any game with an excellent story, I'm on board, and that's just going to make things a lot better. And that I think it was. I can't remember which conference it was in, but the co-op game
yeah.
A Way Out.
Okay. I want to
kind of the same thing. It's
I can't remember. I remember seeing that though.
Yeah, I want to say it was EA.
Yeah, you might be right. I think it was EA.
Yeah, but basically it's designed for co-op. The whole game's in split screen, no matter what. If you play it on a couch or if you play it online with somebody, but it has to be played co-op. There's no way around it. Just you and a friend. Prison break style, trying to get out of a prison, and then you get out into the real world and have to deal with maybe the lives that you left behind or the repercussions of trying to run from the cops.
It reminded me of that movie with Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, where they have to try to break out of that movie. Or break out of the prison in that movie. I forget. I forget.
Came
the
out
name
like
of
2
the
years
movie,
ago,
but
right?
That's definitely what it reminded me of.
It's I don't know, maybe they drew inspiration from that, but yeah, that's an interesting concept. I like the emphasis on co-op. There's a lot of there's not enough games that have that now. I feel like. So I guess let's see. I have some notes about other games that showed up. I guess my biggest surprise for the Sony conference was not necessarily a reveal; it was a lack of a reveal. I was really upset that we didn't get anything for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, yeah.
There was nothing for Resident Evil 2 Remake, and there was nothing for The Last of Us 2.
Yeah, I was definitely expecting to see something for The Last of Us 2, because that was such a heavily loved game.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they're just working on it, so chances are it's probably going to be what they end the show with next year or something. But instead of those, we got a bunch of VR titles that nobody wants, like Final Fantasy 15 Bass Fisher, which looks incredibly stupid. Not really. I'm sure it'll be fun in VR, but it's just not something that I'm into particularly. And the remake of Shadow of the Colossus. If you've ever heard of that game's phenomenal, and it looks beautiful on the PS4.
Yeah, there wasn't really... Yeah, like I said, there wasn't as much surprise or energy in this conference as compared to past years, but they did unveil a new DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn with the Frozen Wilds. I thought that looked pretty cool. The DLC will launch later in 2017. They haven't specified a definitive date yet, but yeah, it looked pretty cool. It's set in a snowy apocalyptic wasteland, and I think it looks interesting.
Yeah, I have yet to start it, so I'm just finishing Evil Within. So I've been working through my backlog.
Evil Within 2,
but yeah,
it's all gameplay. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to Bethesda. Trust me. That's good. That has its own section.
I was watching that in Alabama, and I was terrified.
Yeah,
for my life.
And I've been through probably 60% of the first Evil Within now. I've been playing all day, and I cannot wait for the second one. So,
I love games that scare the crap out of me. They're fun.
Yeah, it's like last year with Resident Evil 7. Jesus Christ. Such a good game. Anyway, so I think this is both going to be both our picks for the game of Sony, the Sony conference. So we'll just go into it. Freaking Spider-Man, dude.
Oh my God. It looked so good. Oh my goodness, it looks so good.
Yeah, it's made by Insomniac. They have what I'm guessing is going to turn into be like the exclusive. Well, it wouldn't be exclusive because Telltale has Guardians, but I have a feeling that they're going to be like the AAA publisher for console games for Marvel. Just because judging from the looks of it, that they've earned that now. I think it reminds me a lot of Arkham. At least that particular mission did that they showed off.
The Batman Arkham series, all of those games were incredible. I enjoyed every one of them.
Yeah, hopefully there's a little bit more swinging around the city, just open world style. I hope it's not as point to point that they
Yeah, it
showed
reminded me a little
in
bit
the
of
gameplay.
Uncharted too, as well. And
Yep.
I think.
Yeah, they're pulling a lot of inspiration from other series, especially like the big helicopter chase that they showed off. Reminded me a lot of God of War's boss battles. Once you get done with the hack and slash, you have to initiate a lot of quick time events, and that's kind of what it reminded me of.
It's being
looks really good. They've already announced. You're good. Nope.
It's being made by Insomniac Games, which I believe they made Ratchet and Clank, which was also a PS4 exclusive.
Yeah.
And I want to get into the suit a little bit because the suit looked so cool. It resembles the suit from the new Spiderman movie coming out, Homecoming, a little bit. Besides the light logo on the front and the white decal throughout the suit, but he has the adjusting eyes like he does in the movie, which is perfect for
yeah, and they've already announced a bunch of skins and stuff that you're going to be able to get in the game. I think they've already shown off. Spoiler alert if you didn't watch the end of the trailer, but they've already shown off Miles Morales' suit.
Crowd went crazy when they saw Miles Morales.
That was huge.
Made me really happy.
Yeah. Yeah, in classic Marvel style, at the end of that sizzle reel, they like, oh hey, here's Miles Morales, by the way. He's in the game. But yeah, they've shown that off, the black suit, of course, which was going to make the game. So that leads me to believe that there's going to be more than just Mr. Negative as a villain. I don't think that he's going to be the big one. We obviously saw the Kingpin in the trailer, so who knows? Hopefully Venom makes an appearance.
Yeah, I thought it was very
Mysterio.
interesting that Kingpin was revealed as the villain.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's gonna be good. I hope it's really open world. It's a long game, kind of similar to like GTA, where it takes a lot of time to actually get through the whole thing.
If it builds a good story, then I'm all about it.
Yeah, and then of course it's gonna build into other games too. Probably like a Captain America
game. Oh
next.
my
I feel
gosh,
like
that'd
that
be
would
so
translate
cool.
pretty well. Yeah, and then maybe another Hulk game where you just run around and destroy things, and obviously Iron Man would probably transfer well.
Like
Thor would probably do well.
Thor or Wolverine even.
Wolverine would be another good one. Yeah, tons of possibilities. Just when it gets the critical acclaim, then there's going to be something else on the way. And then that leads us to, actually, we didn't even talk about COD.
Probably the most anticipated game of this entire weekend.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Call of Duty. It was kind of weird because in past years they've always had like a big segment of the show dedicated to like showing off like a campaign mission. But just like Microsoft, all they did was show a trailer, and it was a multiplayer trailer, which we all knew it was coming.
Since then, there has been more gameplay for multiplayer, people playing Domination, TDM. I know I saw T. Martin. He uploaded a 30-minute video of him displaying all the weapons in the game at the firing range mode that they have.
Yeah, and a big highlight of the play event that they had with all the big YouTubers was the war mode, which is coming in, which seems really freaking cool. Axis versus allies, no kill streaks, just completing objectives. You can only use American weapons if you're on the ally side. You can only use German weapons if you're on the Axis side. It looks pretty intense. Building bridges, destroying tanks, holding down points. I wouldn't be surprised if that turns into part of the esports scene.
I'm just finally happy that the series is back to its World War II roots, and it's set in the trenches with flamethrowers roasting Nazis and Allied troops getting gunned down.
No more goddamn jetpacks.
Like that, massive shootouts and bombed out cities, stuff like that.
They've eliminated perks, which is kind of weird.
Like that's the first for Call of Duty. Yeah.
Yeah, other than like maybe Call of Duty 2, I guess. Which I don't even know if it had multiplayer. It might have, but yeah, perks have been replaced with like basic training, so everybody has access to the same things. You just have to level up those specific training, and then division training as well. They have their own perk system.
Yeah,
which it's an interesting take on creative class. I like it.
The game, in terms of like the picture, it looked incredible, incredibly realistic, I thought.
Yeah, it makes me want to get a better TV.
Be a future purchase along down the road,
go out
I'm sure.
Get a huge TV now.
Not
a huge TV, but a better one.
Call of Duty, we've got some. If the hype train wasn't already real enough, they revealed some exclusive Destiny 2 perks for the PS4. Here, I have a list of them here, called the Lake of Shadows Strike. They got exclusive gear, the City Apex ship, they're the Borealis, I think I'm pronouncing that right, and the Retribution PvP map. So all those perk exclusives for the PS4 will definitely be awesome if you're looking to get Destiny. But in terms of the reveal, they showed off a short story trailer, which I thought it looked intense. We see like this big bad Gaul, a huge masked brute wearing some kind of armor, taunting a beaten guardian before kicking him off a cliff, and then from there it starts a journey towards rebuilding your strength by acquiring new gear, shooting enemy aliens, and the pursuit of XP. So I thought Destiny looked amazing. I'm definitely excited to play it. Yep, I'm not sure.
Yeah, September,
date,
right?
I think it is September.
Yeah, it'll be something to eat up a lot of hours, before everything else comes out, and maybe just take all the hours. I don't know. Destiny looks really good. I can't wait to play it again. That brings us to Nintendo.
Yep, Nintendo. We go.
Bethesda announced that Skyrim is going to be coming to another console. So it's going to be on the Switch. So it's like the 8th or 9th full release of Skyrim.
Okay.
So that's exciting, I guess. At this point, how many other consoles do you need to put Skyrim on?
Yeah. People love Skyrim. I never played it, but I know people will definitely enjoy that.
Yeah, it's just not something I've gotten into yet, but I've always been more of a Fallout person. But, Skyrim seems cool. The mods are awesome. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Super Mario Odyssey, I think, won the show. There wasn't really a lot here for Nintendo.
No, it was very short.
Yeah, the only thing that could have won would be what they were working on for the new Switch game for Pokemon. They announced that they were working on like a full-blown RPG console Pokemon game, but they didn't say anything about it other than that they were working on it.
It was definitely just enough to reel you in for sure.
Yeah, so that will probably be like the game of their conference next year.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's that's something that I've had multiple conversations with people about, that they need to have a full-blown console release for Pokemon. It's been needed since 2000.
Yeah,
and we haven't gotten it, so might get me to buy a Switch. Who knows?
Yeah, I have wanted a Switch. It looks super fun. In addition to that, they unveiled a new co-op Kirby adventure.
Yes, I love Kirby. He sucks everything.
I know it's that looked like a lot of fun. It looked amazingly adorable, I should say.
Yeah.
It's featuring a 4-player co-op as your brand of chipper, circular adventures combined for goofy yet effective battle formations. But I think
Were you reading that off the internet, or did you actually come up with that?
yeah, no, I came up with that.
Okay, I like that.
But yeah, they didn't announce the release date, but it's coming sometime in 2018.
Yeah,
It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed Kirby. Mario's great. They did announce another Metroid game, Metroid Prime 4, I believe, which a lot of people have been clamoring for.
Yeah.
So, pretty standard stuff from Nintendo. But one thing I will commend them on, which I don't know if I wish everybody else would do it, but I think it would benefit every company if they actually did do it like they did. They pre-record their press conference.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo's had a history of really awkward / cringeworthy / horrible moments on stage.
Yeah.
And as of like 2 or 3 years ago, they started pre-recording everything and editing it together, making it look really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been clean. It's been
it's paying
fun
off.
to watch. Yeah, it's paying off. So don't get me wrong. I love the live reveals and I love the onstage stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Until you get dabbing pandas, but yeah, Nintendo's doing something right.
Yep. And then the game sensation known as Rocket League was confirmed for Switch.
Yep. It's taking over the esports scene.
Yep.
It's coming to more consoles.
Yep. Yeah, I never gotten the chance to play it on PS4, but I've seen videos of people playing it. It looks crazy intense. Basically playing soccer with cars. But
as stupid as it sounds, it's awesome.
I know something like that would definitely be perfect for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah, having 4 of your friends all put your Switch on the table and just go at it in some Rocket League would be fun.
Out to eat, get bored, pull out your Switch and start playing.
That's right. That's what they're hoping to do with it, I guess.
Yep.
So let's see. Anything? I have a couple of things I haven't hit on yet on my list.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, what a Nintendo winner and show? I say Mario. It just looked awesome.
Yeah, Mario for sure.
Yeah.
I did like the Metroid Prime 4 confirmed. They didn't really reveal that much. They just said it was in development.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of their stuff. I know some of the people that they had presenting. They said they wanted to keep it mostly focused on 2017. So
yeah,
so they kind of did the same thing that Bethesda's been doing. And back to Bethesda. Good Lord, they disappointed me beyond belief. I am a huge Bethesda fan. I love The Evil Within. I love Fallout. Doom was awesome.
Yeah.
They have Skyrim, which is great, but they keep re-releasing it, and it's getting kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Everybody thought we were going to get a new IP from them this year. They had hinted at maybe, coming out with something brand new, but it turned out that BioWare was the one that had it, and that was Anthem. Bethesda was an absolute shit show this year, unfortunately. They shouldn't even have had a conference.
Yeah.
To be honest. But anyway, that's my rant about Bethesda. Evil Within 2 looked awesome, though. So I'm happy about that.
That looked terrifying. I didn't even know it was happening in like the trailer that they showed or the gameplay that they showed. It looked. But yeah, all I know is I want every part of that because I love being on the edge of my seat when I'm playing games.
Yeah.
Like especially like those.
Oh yeah. Another thing I didn't get to mention was at the Microsoft conference, and that's Cuphead finally got a release date. Cuphead is a 2D side-scrolling shooter, kind of like Mega Man, but it's stylized in a way that looks kind of like 1930s cartoons. Kind of looks like the original Mickey Mouse cartoon. I can't remember. It's something like Steamboat Mickey or something like that. But looks amazing. Comes out in September. Can't wait for it. I think it's everything. Oh, Kingdom Hearts 3 was finally announced. It was almost becoming the new Half-Life 3. It was weird that they did it overnight. went to bed on, I think it was Saturday, woke up on Sunday, and they were like, oh yeah, by the way, Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out. It's like, okay, thanks for the reveal.
I think that is pretty much
I think that's
everything for the most part. Let me go back through my Sony and Microsoft notes, make sure I didn't miss anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah. Something that I wrote down that I forgot about is it's not really press conference restrictive, I guess is the right word. I don't know, but anyway, we are starting to see the beginnings of crossplay between platforms. Minecraft was the huge one that got announced. PC, Xbox, and Switch. So Sony's the odd man out, it appears, with most of these games. Of course, they're the ones that have to step up to the plate. But yeah, crossplay for Minecraft. And I'm pretty sure Rocket League was also announced. And then some other stuff too. But yeah, we're starting to see the beginnings of what could become like a unified gaming community, I guess, with every platform getting to play together, and regardless of console, which is kind of cool, I guess, in a way.
I definitely think that will be something to look forward to for sure. Well,
oh yeah, I agree.
I'm looking through my Microsoft.
Anything else on your list?
Now. Let me make sure I didn't. Talk about Dragon Ball. I had Sea of Thieves on here for Microsoft, but I didn't think that looked too intriguing, so I kind of glanced over it a little bit. Basically, it's just a new extensive pirate adventure game. If you're into that kind of.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I thought it was just going to be like ship-to-ship combat, but it's actually you can get off and go out into the ocean and search caves and treasure and all that stuff and try to bring it back.
Other than that, I think that will do it.
All right, so that brings the question: what game is the best in show?
For me, it definitely has to be Spider-Man. The Spider-Man exclusive. I think it stole the entire weekend, in my opinion. It looked amazing. Like I mentioned before, I love the Batman Arkham series game. I thought those were probably the best superhero games of all time, and now we're getting something similar to that with Marvel and PS4, and Spider-Man is perfect to fit that role, and everything it entails, the combat, the suits, and the villains that are going to be in it. I can't wait. I thought it looked amazing.
Yeah. I would say Spider-Man as well, choice. But I think I'm going to have to give it to Anthem. It's I don't know, like for me at least, I don't know if everybody's the same way, but I have Call of Duty is my my game that I like to play with friends a lot. It's my bread and butter. I always go back to it and I have fun with it. Horror games is usually where I go when I'm ready for a single player kind of thing. Like I said, I'm playing through the Evil Within right now. I love Resident Evil. But I think Anthem might be able to sneak in there and fill that that Destiny void, I guess. And Destiny will be fun too, but Anthem just looks sick. I don't know. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But it's
games like Anthem,
I mean,
it just comes down
to
a matter of preference, I guess, but it did look awesome.
Yeah, and time. That's going to be a big thing. I had that conversation with Josh about how there seems to be an increase in the number of games that it takes 60 plus hours to play.
Because I know I'm going to want to play. I'm going to want to play Destiny. I'm going to want to play Days Gone. I'm going to want to play World War II, Spider-Man. It's just going to be hard to jumble all those games together.
Unfortunately, they all come out in relatively the same time frame. And Madden too. Madden comes out late August.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's the week before our draft. And then Destiny's in September, COD in November, and then all the 2018 early releases. Like I think Spider-Man's supposed to come out in the first half of the year next year. But yeah, they just no rest for the weary, I suppose. Hey, it's all good. Well, you got any final thoughts before we wrap this bad boy up? Anything fantasy related?
Oh yeah,
there was actually some news that happened.
Jeremy Maclin
recently.
just got signed by the Baltimore Ravens after that surprise cut by the Kansas City Chiefs. I realized that was probably to save on some cap space, which I get, but he's still got some juice left in the tank. He's had a pretty productive year when he's being thrown the ball, but it's no doubt that the Ravens have needed receiver help for a while now.
Yeah.
And Joe Flacco may have just got his true number one target. So I think in terms of fantasy value, I think he brings more value on the Ravens than he did the Chiefs. But I wouldn't put him. I don't know. I wouldn't draft him inside the top 3 rounds by any means. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I agree.
Take him
We
in the
should
second
do that,
for sure.
honestly. Yeah.
Actually, yeah. If Brian's listening, I think you should probably take him with your first pick.
Yep.
Or Kyle
First
at
round.
6 overall. Go
Do
right
it.
ahead, man.
Yep.
That's right. Jeremy Maclin. He's going to be the next Randy Moss. The Ravens needed some help. They got bad news with Dennis Pitta, and then obviously they lost Torrey Smith, Steve Smith,
And Rashad Perriman's been on and off
Didn't
with
have any
injury.
receivers ever. Well, yeah, Perriman's an enigma. Don't know if he'll ever turn out to be anything, but hey, you never know. But they have
They
Maclin,
have,
so they haven't known.
Kamar Aiken still.
Oh yeah, Kamar Aiken too. He's with the Colts now.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he signed with the Colts. It was one of those under the radar, like second
Well,
week.
they don't
free
have
agent signings.
Kamar Aiken, guys, so just completely scratch what I said. So that.
I mean, I'll fact check myself. I'm pretty sure that Kamar Aiken is on the Colts.
Either way, if he's not, that just boosts Macklin's value even more. We should leave all this small talk in the recording. Why not?
Well, yeah.
All right.
Duh. Yeah, he's on the Colts. I'm telling you.
Interesting.
Yep. Kamar Aiken, 2017 roster. Yep. I don't know. Interesting. But yeah, what do you think about Myles Garrett too? Do you hear he got hurt again?
Ah, man, Cleveland, they just can't catch a break, dude.
I know. He was in a walking boot after minicamp. He literally cannot stay healthy. The same thing keeps happening to Cleveland's top
I have a
picks.
feeling that we're going to see a similar situation like we did with Clowney and Khalil Mack. Clowney was like the consensus like number one overall player in the draft, but people were speculating that Khalil Mack was actually probably better than Jadeveon Clowney, and then year one, Clowney, I don't even think he played because of those injuries, and Khalil Mack took off and dominated.
Now he's a
so
beast still.
we could see that this year with Garrett being sidelined with injury, and then Solomon Thomas going ham on the 49ers. So
yeah, the 49ers vastly improved defense. It's going to terrorize people for the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah,
first round potential.
But, yeah. It's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yep, it's I don't know. I feel really bad for. I mean, obviously it's still early, but I feel bad for not only Myles Garrett, but the Cleveland's obviously got to be, running around trying to put out all the fires. It's unfortunate.
Yeah,
but
they did. However, they drafted somebody late. I want to say like 5th round. They drafted Caleb Brantley from Florida, who had the trouble with the domestic violence charge.
Yeah,
so he could possibly fill that void.
So.
Yeah, it's since that's the case, that's a huge steal for them, especially from where they got him.
Oh yeah, he was like the 26th overall rated player according to Mel Kiper.
Yeah.
He lasted until the 5th.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. A little off-field trouble goes a long way, boys.
Yep, just don't hit women or people in general, and you'll be fine.
Just lay off the reefer. Don't hit girls, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Do that in the off season.
Yep.
Away from cameras and fast food restaurant surveillance.
Yep.
I think that's where Joe.
Unless you're Joe Mixon, then you're fine.
Yeah, because you're gonna get the starting job. So.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Chad, you should take Joe Mixon round. I'm thinking 3, because he's gonna win the job, and you would know that firsthand. So
yeah,
that'd be a solid pick for you.
Yeah, it's a win-win situation for Chad and the league.
Yep.
Watch him blow up too. He'll be the next Zeke.
Yeah.
Chad's gonna win 3 years in a row.
He could. Did you see his pro day numbers were like almost identical to Zeke?
Yep.
So who knows?
Know what else they have in
Probably.
common?
They both have domestic violence history.
Yep.
Well, allegedly for Zeke, but
there's a trend here.
Yep.
All right. I think that's it, man. It's right on an hour.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
Right on. Solid E3 talk, some fantasy news at the end. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, I guess.
Yep.
For all 4 of you that are going to watch it. And then,
yep.
You know,
in the meantime, we'll continue to brainstorm for some podcast names.
Yep.
I doubt we'll come up with any, but
no, I think we're going to be the podcast that still doesn't have a name until like year 12. That's what's going to happen.
You can just name it a pod with no name.
That's right. That's got to be it.
Yeah. Yep.
Been through the desert on
gold.
a pod with no name.
Yep. There it is. We nailed it.
Yep. I think we'll just stick with it for now.
A pod with no name until someone suggests something better. That's the name.
Yep. Logo's going to be a microphone with a question mark over it.
All right. I like it.
All right,
That's
man.
going to sell some t-shirts, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Visit our merch store for our discount codes on G Fuel, and we'll talk to you later. All right. So next discussion we're going to have is an NFL divisional breakdown on July 1st. So
yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, so everybody stay tuned for that. And I guess until then, Dylan, why don't you take us away and send us off?
All right, yeah, without further ado, hit that like button, comment down below, subscribe.
Visit our Patreon.
For more content brought to you by us, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, see you.
See you guys.